My inspiration for launching the seasons was clearly, as you can tell today, not the British weather. I actually know really my inspiration was all around like how people perceive flavour and how actually whiskey shouldn't just be for drinking in winter and in the colder months, because there are some fantastic whiskies that have these wonderful sort of summery flavours. So myself and Oliver Chilton, who is the gentleman behind the liquid in these bottles, I kind of went to him and I said, I'd like to do this. And Ollie's like, okay, let's do it. It'll be fun. And he goes, how do you want to do it? And I said, well, let me put down on paper what I think each season is represented by. And it was normally around flavours of things like fruits for summer, of course. So, those tropical fruits. For winter, it was more about the kind of autumnal, kind of mushroomy, kind of nutty fruits. And, as we go around the seasons, I put down what I kind of felt about those seasons. And it wasn't just fruits, it was also vegetables and things as well. And then Ollie went away and he drew me off some samples, and then we went through and I just sort of tasted them. I didn't know which order he'd put them in. I didn't know which category he'd assigned to. And I think bar about 4 whiskies, we were pretty much spot on for the entire seasons. We came up with these sort of 12 whiskies, which we were really both happy about and really felt that represented the flavours. And then went to the design team, the really talented design team we have at the Whisky Exchange, and asked them to kind of put what was in my head down on paper, and they came up with this incredible labels that you see in front of you today. So for me, it was a really big departure from what we've done in the past at the Whisky Exchange, and hopefully a really new way of looking forward to how we're going to tackle these new and interesting projects we're going to do under the Whisky Exchange labels. So what was in my head when I was thinking of summer? So summer for me is about tropical fruits. It's about things like mango, papaya. It's about these lovely sort of sweet fruits, things like strawberry, but also those insanely great barbecue moments when you're sitting out in the summer and you've got a lovely piece of roasted lamb on the barbecue. Those are all kind of for me things that were in my head when I was thinking about it. But also then the sort of sweet spices, that smell of coconut from sun cream lotion. And just really for me, summer was encapsulated by all these wonderfully powerful but beautifully ripe and rich flavours. So what can I tell you about these whiskies? Well, we have 3 different whiskies from 3 different areas of Scotland. We have Lowlands, Speyside and Highland, and all at different ages. So a young one at 11, 15, and then the old man at 26. All quite different in style as well. So the first one, the Lowland, which I cannot tell you what distillery it's from, but tends to make these lovely sort of fruit-driven, very light, elegant style whiskies that have this beautiful backbone of fruit. Then you have the Benriach. Benriach is a distillery that for me is kind of never given enough love. It's been kind of through a few different hands, but now is in the more than capable hands of Rachel Barry. This one tends for me to give you a little tiny lick of smoke, but then these beautiful sort of orchard tropical fruits coming through. And then last but definitely not least, the Ardmore. And Ardmore, again, a fantastic distillery, often used in blending, but is one of the only Highland whiskies that really gives you that backbone of smoke. And for me, really over-delivers on that fruit and smoke balance. And I think it's just a gorgeously ripe, rich style of whiskey. So I'm really excited about all 3. I think they're all quite different in character, but that vein of fruit coming through them all is very, very similar. That lovely little tropical fruit with 2 little kind of licks of smoke on 2 of the whiskies, which just gives it that little kind of summer barbecue feel. So how would I drink these whiskies? Well, the Lowland is about the sort of moment with friends, a little aperitif where you could add ice to it, you could add some soda, make a highball, because it's just a really generous, easy drinking whiskey. The Benriach for me is sitting down on the terrace with a book, kind of waiting for the sun to go down, because the whiskey needs a little bit of time to evolve in the glass. And then the Ardmore is definitely the end of a long night after a barbecue with your mates. Just cheers the summer evenings away. So what's coming up next? Well, funnily enough, after summer does come fall. And here we're looking at those kind of more kind of orchard fruits, the apples, the pears, quince, but also those autumn leaves, as you're walking through on a winter or as an autumn walk that kind of dried leaf character, but peppered in with a little bit of bonfire smoke. So get your bottles of these and then get prepared for those nights to draw in and the next season to be upon us. Are you still filming? Yeah. Genuinely, what is the man cutting down? There's nothing at the front. I mean, the blowtorch man stopped. So, as the whiskey develops and the squirrel behind me is having so much fun on my bird feeder, this is genius.